You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. We are here with a Training Thursday edition of the show. We're going to be talking about today all things cardio. Should you do cardio before your weight training or after your weight training? Should it be high intensity after weight training or lower intensity? Should you be using the upright bike versus the recumbent bike? Should you be running? Should you be sprinting? So, looking forward to breaking that down, all of you today, giving you a lot of the science behind it. And then at the very end, simplifying all of this knowledge so that you can put it into action to get yourself and your clients and your family members better results. So that's what it's really all about. We do not want to make exercise overly complicated. It doesn't have to be. I know that there's a lot of people out there who love to make it overly complicated, but honestly, if you're looking to transform your body and also use it for anti-aging based protocols, it can be phenomenal. And so we don't want to go overboard. I typically recommend somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes per workout, and I would love you to be able to get that in more days than not. So almost all of the research shows about 150 minutes per week, okay? A little bit of cardio, a little bit of weights. I'm going to show you today how we can essentially almost combine them together. So what do we do with that 150 minutes a week? Well, it shows, meaning research shows, better to split that over a minimum of 3 workouts rather than trying to get it in 1 or 2, which is not as beneficial. So if we look at it just over 3 workouts, okay, we're looking at that 150 minutes. And if we do some quick math on that, we're at 50 minutes per workout. Now, if we look at that, we say, okay, a little bit of cardio, a little bit of weights, which we'll talk about, okay. And that's fine. If you do 3 times a week, I'm still going to give you a virtual high five for that because that's great. It really is. If you say, oh, I'm getting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, then you're doing phenomenal. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're doing great. Now, could we take that 150 minutes and divide it over 4? Now we're talking about just under a 40-minute workout, 37 minutes or so, 4 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, weekends off. That could work. Or what about Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday? If you're someone that has more time in the weekends, that works too. What about Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Pick a weekend day, right? So there's a lot of different ways that we can get these 4 days in per week. And I would love for you to eventually work up to that where you can find yours. Now, if you're getting 5 days, 6 days in a week, congratulations. You're doing great. So what I want, though, for the majority of people out there to say, how can I definitely get 3 days? And then what's my bonus day? And then eventually your bonus day becomes a fixed 4th day. Maybe it's not for a year from now. That's okay. It's all right. You have time. And then after that, the bonus day is the 5th day. That's what I'd really love to work you up to. But let's get there. Okay. So we're looking at, now we have this amount of time. Let's say about 40 minutes, okay? I don't think that people really need to work out for more than 40 minutes. And I've been doing this for a long time, designing programs. It's always based on 40 minutes. Never more than that. Because I read some research a long time ago, and it still holds up today, that after you push your body, and you should be pushing your body during a workout. You're not there to just sit around the water cooler, all right? You're there, maximize your time, in and out. My workouts, 30 to 40 minutes. In and out. That's it. I can do my stretching later at night. I can do whatever I want. But I have to fit it all in. I've got a family. I've got work. Lots of responsibility, just like you. So we just need to fit it all in. That's what I do. I can foam roll later at night. So now, would it be great after the workout? Sure. We'll get to that another day. So what I look at it is this. You have 40 minutes, and that's what we need to do in it. And that's always the time, again, that I've designed it within. So what do we do with that 40 minutes? Well, I shared with you some research last Friday, and I kind of called it bad exercise research. It's not that it's not true, But what happens is we take these studies and we tell people that it's kind of like considered the end-all, be-all. And it was that you shouldn't complete your weight training before your cardio because it actually made their cardio weaker. Okay, so basically the quadriceps, the muscles weren't as strong. So I read the research and I said, of course, I totally agree. Whatever exercise you do first is going to cause the ones later in the workout to suffer. This, to me, is straight away common sense if you've been in the fitness industry, not for regular. Meaning like, I don't have any common sense when it comes to like, what would financials or taxes or any of those things be like? So that's not my field. But for me, I'm like, of course it does, right? Of course. You get tired, right? Your body gets more tired. You're not producing as much ATP. You've depleted a lot of those glycogen-based stores. You've built up more lactic acid or calcium ions or whatever else is going on in your body that's causing you to fatigue. And that happens. I mean, that's the way that it works. So what I'm saying is this, though. My question that always follows up the research is, so what? Like, so what? Okay, your cardio is worse after your weight training. So what? And the so what is this? So what's your goal? That's the question, right? So what is your goal? So most people's goal that I work with, not out there in the world, but most people's goal is this. I want to stay healthy, stay injury-free, and get in better shape. That's their goal. So if your goal is to stay healthy, stay injury-free, work on a little bit of anti-aging in there, look better, get in better shape, if that's your prerogative, if you feel that that's, what you want for your body, great. We don't then do cardio after your workout. All right? That's the thing. When should you do cardio before your workout? Well, if your job was a sport that required you to be great at cardio. So, for example, if you were training for a triathlon, you can make a real argument that you should do your cycling first or your running first. If you were training for a marathon, you can make a real argument that you should train running first. That makes sense, right? Because those are your sport. But for most people, they're not, maybe they'll run a 5K, but that's not a competition, right? They're doing it to be in better shape, to feel better, to feel healthier, and they know that exercise helps with metabolism. It helps with keeping their bones strong. So that's why they're doing it. So for the majority of people, cardio is going to go after the workout. And let me give you a little bit of the science behind that. So here's what we found. This is, let me give you a couple of these studies. You know what? I'm just going to link them up for you instead of getting super boring and tell you all the PubMed studies here. I want you to head on over to stevencabral.com/1357. That's where I'm going to link. I'm just going to link them up for you. So people that love to read the research will get that for you. All right. So here's what we looked at. When researchers looked at 3 different workout protocols, which was strength training alone, running, followed by strength training, and cycling, followed by strength training, they found that the running or the cycling pre-strength workout limited the number of reps they could perform compared to when they did the strength training first, right? So, and again, that makes sense. If you go for 20, 30 minutes of jogging or biking, you're most likely going to be a little bit more fatigued, maybe a little bit more glycogen depleted after doing that. That makes total sense to me. Okay, so why did that matter? Well, if the person wanted to transform their body, that includes their muscles and their muscle tone, they would want to have more energy for the weight-based training. Because really, when you're doing cardio, and this is a big myth, it is not training your muscles as much. Okay, so let's say you go out for a run. You're going to basically be able to max out what you can do in terms of muscular output in maybe 4 to 6 months. You could keep pushing a little bit beyond that, but that's about it. What you're really training are your heart and your lungs. Now, there's other things that go along with this as well, with just lactate threshold, etc. But for our standards, you're not running to transform your legs. You're not doing aerobic-based work to transform your legs. Aerobic with oxygen, aerobic, think of your cardiovascular system. The reason for cardiovascular is absolutely health-based, circulation, clearing a lot of toxins from the body, sweating. There's a lot of benefits to cardio. Actually improves the pH of your body in all systems, and that includes tissue-based as well. We know that the blood maintains a very steady pH, but doing cardio actually helps to improve tissue-based pH. So, and it's one of the reasons why they recommend it for cancer-based therapy. And this is in conventional medicine as well. Okay, so if we're looking at that, we know that we won't be able to perform as well with strength training, which could even just be your own body weight. So when you do your pull-ups, your lunges, your squats, your chest presses, whatever it might be, you're most likely not going to perform as well. That matters. So another study we looked at shows that muscle power, so your output, decreases when lifting weights after running. And that can just be after on a treadmill or outside. While heart rate and the rate of perceived exertion on how the workout felt increased. So you're actually working harder but getting less benefit from your weight training. This is why, again, in my opinion, but also based on the research, cardio comes after your weights. And I'll give you how to do this in just a moment. One of the last ones I want to give you is this, though. If you lift weights first and then do cardio, even just 15 minutes of cardio after your weight training, you're going to burn more fat. That's one of the best research. There's multiple of them, but this one that I'm going to put up for you is in medicine and science and sports and exercise. Here's the thing. Many people I work with, they want to be in better shape. They want to burn more body fat, burn it around their midsection, and feel overall more energetic and more alive. Doing weight training with cardio can do that. Not just weight training alone. And I'm really starting to feel that way the more that I get older. Not just the more research I do, but the more that I do exercise myself. Is that you want a combination of the two. You really do. And you will perform better with weight training if your cardiovascular system becomes better, even though it's more anaerobic than aerobic. And anaerobic would be less oxygen and more, I don't want to get too deep into it, but creatine and phosphate and without oxygen, right? Glucose, we can look at that system of the body. So as an exercise science field, what most people are recommending is weight training first, cardio second. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. If you're into this gets very interesting to me. Yes, if your main goal is cardio, you do that first. Okay, we're going to put that aside. What we're finding right now, for the best of all worlds, is actually doing circuit-like or interval-like or high-intensity weight training, which is anaerobic based. Okay, so you get your anaerobic, you're pushing your muscles. And then after that, believe it or not doing more interval-based cardio, but actually doing a little bit lower intensity that requires more oxygen and more steady state. And I know this seems really strange, but I want to break this down because this is interesting research. So you do your high-intensity weight training. And it might be, again, I've given you many examples of circuits before. So you can go to stephencabral.com/podcasts, and everyone that has a TT, those TT, that stands for Training Thursday. Some of them are Toxic Thursdays, but we have a lot of Training Thursdays in there. And I give you many workouts just for free. But let's give you an example. Let's say that you're doing a circuit, and you are doing push-ups with your feet in a TRX, followed by inverted rows with a TRX, followed by, or let's say, push-ups, and then you're just going to do squats, and then you're going to do those inverted rows, and then you're going to do walking lunges, and then you're going to do medicine ball twists. Let's just say that, all right? 5 exercise circuit right there, all right? Think of it as chest, think of it as squats, think of it as back for posture, think of it as lunges, and then we're doing some core work, okay? Pretty normal, pretty straightforward circuit. So now we're getting our heart rate pumping. That's our interval right there. And we're using weight training, which is our body, or some weights, whether it be kettlebells, dumbbells. Your body doesn't care too much. All it knows is the resistance that you put on it, right? So you can do body weight and make it hard, right? So that your body feels somewhere within the 8 to 12, 8 to 15 reps or so. All right. So here's the thing. If you think about that, you already got a lot of the benefits of interval training during that weight training workout. That's why resistance training done in a high interval intensity fashion can be the best of all worlds. But now we want to get in some cardio. So if you do your lower intensity cardio, it might simply be getting on a treadmill and just running for a mile, mile and a half. Or if you're not feeling it with your knees and your back, get on an upright bike, an exercise bike. That's the second most, essentially, muscle that you can use. Running is going to be more. Then when you sit, okay, you're going to disengage the core a little bit, and on an upright bike, and you're going to still get a lot of biomechanical work. That means your body's doing a lot of work, which is great. You don't want to use the recumbent bike where you're sitting way back with the little backrest. You don't want to do that, okay? It's not good for your lower back. It's not good to push forward like that. It's not a good use of your time. You could do an elliptical if you needed to, but don't do the recumbent bike, all right? So we have that, and we're simply going for 15 minutes. Now, in that 15 minutes, we're improving our heart, our lungs. We're also improving our recovery, better circulation. We're removing a lot of that lactic acid buildup, and we're shuttling and flushing a lot of the blood in and out of those muscles. Plus, it improves cellular respiration by using, hopefully, the lower lobes of your lungs with doing that deep cardio. So it's a great new way in terms of exercise and exercise science of allowing you to get stronger, to get faster, to get more powerful, to work on muscle tone, burning body fat, and then adding some of that endurance at the end. It's my opinion, the most balanced workout that you can really get right now. Now, it doesn't have to be every day of the week, but you could do some rowing after your workout. You could use, and just keep it at more of a lower intensity. And what was found was that recovery was better, and you burn more of that body fat. Why? Because by the time you got on that cardio piece, at the end of your workout, the weight training, high-intensity weight training workout, your body was already primed. You already had your heart rate elevated. It didn't take you some time to warm the body up. No, you're already ready to go. It might have taken you 5 to 10 minutes on a treadmill or a bike to get that thermogenic-based effect, heating the body up, or to get the heart rate up to where the point you're at right now. But your body's warm. You might only need a minute, 2 minutes. That's all my body needs. When I get on that treadmill after a weight training workout, I usually take about 90 seconds to 3 minutes to let my body acclimate, whether it's a run or it's going to be biking. That's it. So I'm moving at a lower pace for those first 90 seconds to 3 minutes. And then I just gradually increase the intensity or gradually increase the speed of the treadmill, or maybe I'm adding an incline. But all of these things, again, over time, I kind of talked about it yesterday. The more that you do over time, it doesn't have to be all at once. That's why I don't love people just saying, like, I'm going to do 7 days a week. No, if you haven't been doing anything, I'll take 3. 3 is great. Causes less metabolic damage. You haven't done anything. Why are you going to go to 7? 3 is great. Then after that, go with 4. For sure. 4 days a week. And if you can do, I mean, in my opinion, if you have 4 days a week and you like to do a little cheat meal on the weekend, like I might, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sneak in there for a Saturday afternoon workout or so before going out to dinner that night, or maybe even do it right at home. It's fantastic. It's going to allow you to better metabolize that meal. You'll be able to use those carbs, soak them back up in the liver and the muscles for glycogen replenishment. It's a great way to do it. So using this methodology, let's just say 40-minute workouts. What would I do? Well, I'd do pretty much what I'm doing right now. I would do 20-minute weight-based training workout, and I would do about 20 minutes of cardio. That's how I like to do it. And then this is also what I do. And I'm just going to, again, this changes for me, but this is what I'm doing right now. The 20 minutes, sometimes 25, but 20 minutes of weight training, the high-intensity style. I'm typically choosing 5 exercises and going in a row. Or I'm doing 3 sets for a tricep, do those 3 times, and then do another tricep of 3 exercises 3 times. And then after that, I do a little cardio workout. I'm going to be sharing this with you as a fitness test in the future. But I get on and I am doing a mile, and I'm going to run that mile essentially as quick as I can. It's not a sprint. I'm not doing that. Like it's just a good, solid mile. I'm not looking to win a race. Okay, this is not high intensity. I have to keep it up, and then I finish it out with a bike. So that's all I'm doing. So I'm not looking for a lot of wear and tear in my body, but I believe that most people should be able to run a mile. I know not everyone can. I understand that. I get it. That's okay. You can do the bike. You can do the elliptical. What if you can't because of ankle injuries or knee or whatever it might be? Well, then you can use the ergometer and move your arms. And that's fine too. That could be your cardio. You could do a rowing machine. Remember, always come up with more solutions than excuses. In life in general, it's a great philosophy to live by. What's the solution to this? I hear a lot of problems right now, but what is the solution that I can come up with? And it may not be perfect. Life sometimes isn't perfect. But that's why if you can come up with a basic structure, set a timer on your watch, even if you don't know the exercises to do, and do body weight exercises for 20 minutes, and then do some cardio, you have yourself a really nice workout that's going to serve you for life, because that's what this should be about. If you want things a little bit more calibrated for you, you want the set by set, the tempo, the exercises, I published a book about a decade ago called A Man's Guide to Muscle and Strength. It's for women too. It's a full year's worth of workouts. You can purchase on Amazon, you get it at equilibriumnutrition.com. But again, there's a lot of workouts out there. I've given at least 100 for free on the podcast, and you can get those too at stephencabral.com/podcast. You can search back for those previous shows. But what I want you to do is this. Keep it simple. Try to come up with a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for now, 3 days a week if you're not exercising. And it can even be the same workout if you want to, because you're leaving a day in between. Ideally, they'll be different, but that's okay. Do the same one if you want. Keep it balanced. Do the weight training first, 20 minutes. Do 20 minutes of cardio afterwards. If you're just starting out, body weight exercises for resistance training, and then upright bike for after the workout. Most gyms will have it. You can pick up an upright bike. I know it's not inexpensive, but for a couple $100. And that couple $100 could be one of the best investments of your life. And that's going to hopefully force you to use that bike because you made the investment in it, right? I always kind of look for that outside. How can I rationalize this? And that's a good way to do it. I've given reviews on best upright bikes before. And again, you can find that at my podcast page, stephencabral.com/podcast. So I'm going to keep it at that for today. The best way as of right now, and I've been doing this a while and it just makes sense. Unless your sport is a marathon, triathlon, or some type of endurance-based event, I want you doing your cardio after your weight training. And if you're doing them both on the same day, I recommend you do your weight training first, circuit-based style or tri-sets or high-intensity interval training. And then after your workout, you can do more of your cardiovascular, low-intensity cardio that will actually help you recover from that workout and improve your heart, lungs, and overall pH circulation of the body. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I will talk with you tomorrow on our Friday review. Don't miss it. Take care. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.